Rob, what is our fourth main topic today?
Well, John, our fourth main topic comes to us from Max Murdock. Hi, John and crew. Obviously, you can't go into spoilers, but what did you think of the penultimate episode of She-Hulk? Still not loving it, but hey, they used the Daredevil theme from the formerly on Netflix show. Anyways, thoughts? Bring on the filthy. This episode sure did.
Whoa.
All right, guys. Wow. So listen, we no longer do the She-Hulk after show here because I just don't like She-Hulk, the show. It's just not funny to me. But we are going to discuss it here, and go ahead, Jonathan, and throw it up there. We're going to be doing this in a full, this is going to be a spoiler-filled quick review. We're not going to go long on this, but this is going to be a spoiler-filled quick thing since we no longer do a She-Hulk show. But, of course, I said I had tapped out of the show, but I said, yeah, when Daredevil's there, I'll obviously tune in, and Anne has been wanting me to watch a show with her anyway, but we just don't do the after show anymore. So the episode, the day has come. The long-promised first appearance, like Matt Murdock may have popped up, but this was the first appearance of Daredevil in the MCU. And he has showed up. And I will say, I think it's the second best episode they've had. I still think the premiere, the series premiere was the best episode they did. But this was pretty good. This was pretty good. I'll give it its credit. I think it's pretty good. So, and I'll say this too, with a lot of people having been worried about how much are they going to change Matt Murdock? How much are they going to change Daredevil? Rob, you and I were talking about this before the show started, but I felt like while this was clearly the lighter side of Matt, this was definitively Matt Murdock. Like it was very much true to the character of Matt Murdock that we had seen in the Netflix series. The lighter side of him, absolutely. But we saw that lighter side in the Netflix series as well. And so I felt it was there. The courtroom scene is the best courtroom scene they've had so far, where they actually start talking in legal terminology and making legitimate legal arguments and stuff like that. That I thought was a really good scene. By the way, I can officially tell you guys. You guys remember that when I had those Spider-Man No Way Home pictures, I told you, I also had my hands on a couple of other pictures that I did not release. And I told you a while ago, once it became public that Matt Murdock was going to be in She-Hulk, I said, it turns out it was from the She-Hulk. And it was that scene, the picture I got about a year ago, was that scene in the courtroom where it was just, you saw Matt Murdock sitting at the one table, Charlie Cox sitting there with his client, and then you saw Tatiana Maslany in the motion capture suit sitting at the other table.
Yeah.
And you got to remember, when I first got that picture, because I got it with the Spider-Man photos, I had just assumed that was from Spider-Man No Way Home. And I'm like, oh my God. And then we saw Spider-Man No Way Home, realized that wasn't. It's like, oh my gosh, so that means this is coming in something else. Turns out it's She-Hulk, and that was a scene. So the year-long mystery is now out of the bag. That was the picture that I did not release, was the one that was in the courtroom. That being said, I thought it was really good. And I will tell you this, F everybody else. And I know I gave up on the show because it's not funny, but it's had a couple of very funny moments. I think the twerking scene, F everybody. I don't care. That twerking scene was fucking hilarious. I laughed my ass off at that scene. I still do. But Daredevil doing the walk of shame has got to be a close second. I audibly guffawed and laughed out loud when I saw him doing that walk in the morning, and I didn't even realize at first that he was carrying his shoes.
Oh, yeah.
And then when I realized he was carrying his shoes, I double guffawed, laughed out loud. And I had to pause it. I rewound it to watch it again. I thought that was hilarious. Listen, I thought the chemistry between Matt and Jen was really good. I like that for all those people who are always going, well, She-Hulk is just about making men look bad. Well, guess what? In this episode, a man came in the episode and said, you don't know what you're doing. I do. You're just destroying things. I've done this a lot of times. Follow my lead. Right? And he is the more experienced hero. He's clearly, she's not even taken on the responsibility of being a hero.
He outfought her.
And well, she did win the fight.
Well, I mean,
it did end up with him on his ass because she's a Hulk. She's a Hulk.
Of course.
I mean, what's he going to do? Hit her with his stick?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, there was that, but still, he outmaneuvered her.
Oh, my God, Jonathan. Oh my
Oh
God.
my people. So it was a really good appearance. And you know what? Good on Matt flying into LA, having a quick one-nighter and flying out of town.
That's the way it's done.
That's the way it's done, boy. And so he goes in and does that. I just legitimately, now the ending of the episode was terrible. I thought the ending of the episode was absolutely terrible. So we don't have to go there. But yeah, I thought this was a good episode. Listen, I'll give credit where it's due. This was a fine episode. And I think for people who have been worried about how Matt Murdock will be portrayed in the MCU, I honestly think this episode should put your mind at ease a little bit. I thought it was definitely. Now, as far as the music, there's that music hit that plays. That's from the Netflix series, right? I don't think that really means anything any more than in Ms. Marvel when they mention mutant and they play that means that the 1980s cartoon X-Men is what she's going to be a part of. Obviously it doesn't. It's just a familiar music note that they hit. It just makes it feel like you're home again, which is how they've used it before. So listen, this is a show we don't talk about much anymore, but the Daredevil appearance, I'm going to chalk it up as a win. I do. I still, at the end of the day, I think this show has been a disappointment because of its lack of being able to be funny, but give it its due. I thought this episode worked. Hey guys, we want to thank the sponsor of today's episode, Mint Mobile. Mint Mobile offers premium wireless starting at just $15 a month. And now for the plot twist. I'm just kidding, there isn't one. Seriously, Mint Mobile just has premium wireless service from $15 a month. There's no trapping you into a 2-year contract or opening the bill to find these crazy fees. There's no luring you in with free subscriptions to streaming services that you'll forget to cancel and be charged full price for. I used to dread opening my phone bill every month because every time I was opening it, it was like playing roulette. I never knew what the actual price was going to be, and it always seemed to get higher. But not with Mint Mobile. Mint Mobile gives you the best rate whether you're buying for one or a family, and at Mint, families start at 2 lines. All plans come with unlimited talk and text, plus high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. And if you're worried about the complication of switching things over, don't. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and keep your phone number along with all your existing contacts. So guys, get premium wireless from just $15 a month and no unexpected plot twists at mintmobile.com/Campea. That's mintmobile.com/Campea. Seriously, you'll make your wallet very happy at mintmobile.com/Campea. How did you feel about it?
I really liked it too. Like you, was my second favorite episode of the show. My favorite thing in this episode was when Matt Murdock was talking to Jennifer about what she can do as a lawyer and as
Yes.
That was, again, it echoed a sentiment that we first heard said by Banner in the first episode.
Yep.
Like without you're obligated because you're a superhero to help the world. I mean, the way Murdock put it, it's like, look,
you're uniquely positioned to do both.
Yes, and I love that.
How did he put it too? Like when society fails somebody, you can,
or the law fails somebody.
No. When society fails somebody, you can use the law to help them. And when the law fails somebody, as the Hulk, you can help them. That's right. That was a great line.
It was great. And that's what Daredevil does.
Yeah.
So I liked, and I really liked their relationship. And I thought, it's very funny to me to say this, but the character of the clothier, he's tailor for the superheroes.
Yeah, they're Edna Mode.
I wish that character wasn't so broadly played. He can still be funny, but I like that character. I like the idea, and I did like the fact that he's like, look, you walked in here and you've taken on a client. I mean, there was something really interesting, even though the character's so goofy, that she had to take up legal arms against him by testifying against somebody that she is working with, or who's making clothes for her. I really liked that. And I liked at the end that they were able to make it up. And I even the revelations, like, wait a minute, you put jet fuel in this? Like,
I like how he picked it out. He smelled it. What kind of fuel did you use?
That was great. That was great too. I loved how Matt Murdock was shown. Yeah, you're lying. He knew all that. It was great. But that all made sense, and that's what I wanted more of from the show. The reason I like this episode, John, it was exactly what I thought I was going to get.
Yeah, I thought She-Hulk. That's exactly what I thought too. I thought that what we got in this episode, both the legal aspect of it the heroing aspect of it. This is what I thought we were going to get 9 episodes of.
And the humor.
Yeah. And by the way, I'll throw this out there too. The best fourth wall breaking they've done in the series so far. Like when she's talking to Matt in the bar and then she turns to us and goes, "It's not just me, right? Like you're feeling this too," right? I was like, that was the best use of fourth wall breaking they've had in the series so far.
Yeah.
I think it was the best use of Jen. I think obviously they did a good job using Daredevil. The ribbit and rip it, the whole leapfrog, whatever the fuck that guy's name is, like that was so stupid.
It was so stupid. It was all, and that's the thing that
kick-ass wannabe.
They could have done this and made it more believable, but I just don't, it's goofy. That's where the tone, but I have to tell you, the funniest thing about that walk of shame.
And it was, I don't care what anybody says, that was brilliant.
No, it was brilliant. And when you really back it up and you think about it, what was he going to do? It's not like she's got extra men's clothes in her house. She didn't live with a guy. There's no reason. So Daredevil has, the only thing he has is his uniform. That's it. So what's he going to do? And the fact that he doesn't have a car, maybe he's going to call an Uber. It was funny, but it also wasn't too goofy to me. It was an issue of practicality, which made it even funnier.
When they get back to her place, it's like, how do you take this off?
All that was so great.
So listen, again, this is a show that at the end of the day, I think was a big missed opportunity. The overall show, I mean, but again, give credit where it's due. I thought they really did a good job with this, and take Daredevil's appearance out of it. If they just employed a lot of the principles that they applied in this episode,
yes,
and they had applied these principles in the rest of the series, they could have had something really, really fun.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it's going to end up being a pretty disappointing show. For me, I'm sure many of you are still really enjoying it. If so, that is awesome. I'm not trying to change your mind. That's great. I'm going to end up being disappointed. But hey, give it where it's due. They did a pretty good job with the Daredevil thing there. Question is for you guys, and we can take the spoiler link down now. How did you guys feel about this episode of, I almost said Daredevil, this episode of She-Hulk? I think it's the second best one they've done. Maybe the second good one they've done. However you guys feel about it, jump down to the comment section below and leave your thoughts there.